Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll rise, Mr. Tim Keller, our social studies and English and phys ed teacher, will lead us in the Pledge to Allegiance. And gentlemen, please remove your caps.
I'll leave it there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Tim. We welcome you, to our annual graduation and semi-annual awards night. We're now having awards night at the end of first semester. This is our award night for second semester. And of course, the main attraction is our graduates. I'd like to mention that there are a few people in the audience tonight that we'd like to mention. Kim Green from the Scouts, who has been very helpful with our Friday activities and doing a number of things with our students this year. And her director, Donna Schwartz. Wherever you are, would you raise your hand at least, or stand up? There they are back in the corner. Matt Paulus, representing the Sheriff Department. He's our DARES officer. Matt, where's Matt? Hey, there's Matt back there. Mary Randall, representing the Probation Department, is sitting with the staff in the front row. We also have Mr. Martin Prout and his wife, the Executive Director for Human Resources. Mark, where are you? Oh, there he is back there. Okay. We have Barb Daniels representing the Board of Education tonight, and her son is with her. Thank you for attending, Barbara. And this man I've introduced as a assistant superintendent for a number of years because he always comes to our ceremonies, but this year I can't introduce him as that. I introduce him instead as our superintendent, Bill Kimball, and his wife. Every building has a building improvement plan and a building improvement program. Ours is no exception. Mr. Bedreva, Jim Bedreva, our intermediate language arts and teen life teacher, is the chairman of our program. And Mr. Bedreva, would you like to say a few words about that?
Well, you hear what's school improvement. Well, what is school improvement? At Port Huron South, school improvement is a team. It's not such a novel idea calling a group a team. There are all sorts of teams. You've got teams in sports for children, teens, adults. You've got teams at work, whether they're assembly line teams at Ford, work crews at McDonald's or Walmart. There are a lot of teams out there. So what makes us so special being a team at Port Huron South? I thought I'd check my trusty dictionary to make sure I got it right when I said we're a team at Port Huron South. And it said a team is a group of people organized to work together. I guess I got it right when I said we're a team at Port Huron South. We're indeed a group of people organized to work together. The thing is, our team isn't just 5 or so athletes trying to beat another team one night and another one the next. Our team isn't one business trying to edge out another business. What our team is our team is us. Not just the teachers and the students, but it's all of us, parents, as well as all of our community members, our businesses, Ford, McDonald's, Walmart, and all the others. Our team is our community. Our team's mission, simply put, our students are the future of our community. What's our team's goal? Well, it's to assist these students in becoming reasonable, respectful, and responsible citizens. Part of the team, part of Port Huron's future. In our building, we encourage our students to choose success. We help them build their skills they need to communicate well, whether in writing or on a computer or in speaking with others. We assist them in choosing success, to choose to become reasonable, respectful, and responsible citizens. This is what we call school improvement. We lead them to the doors of opportunity. They must choose to open those doors. And we all must do our part, teachers, students, parents, business, and the rest of our community, to encourage and welcome these young citizens become reasonable, respectful, and responsible. After all, they are on the team, our team. They're our future. Thank you.
Good evening, parents. This is always a pleasure for me for this particular award as we begin our awards. We have the Principals Award, and the Principals Award is given at Port Huron South at the end of the first semester and at the end of the second semester. In order to receive the Principals Award, a student must be on level 5 for a complete semester. Now, level 5 is rather difficult to attain. It's our highest level. Number 1, you have to be here every day. Number 2, you have to pass all your classes. And number 3, you cannot be sent to timeout for any reason whatsoever. This semester, we have one student that I am taking exceptional pride in announcing tonight. Jeremy Mosley, would you come up, please? We're very proud of Jeremy. We also have the Honor Roll Award, and it gives me great pleasure to announce the Honor Roll winners for this particular semester. Now, an Honor Roll winner has to be on level 4 or 5 for 4 or more marking periods. Now, we have 6 marking periods, so out of the 6, a student must make this criteria and meet it 4 times. We are very privileged, and it's with great pleasure that we have a number of students that have reached this criteria for this semester. Would Joe Curtis, if you're here, would you come up, please? Okay, I didn't think I saw him. Chris Donovan. Jeff Lander. Brandy Taylor. Mike Nelms. Andy Reed. I didn't think I saw him either. Aaron Schumann. Nicole Ullenbrook. Okay, those are also students who earned this award. The next award that will be given by Mrs. Brown, and she will give the Perfect Attendance Award.
At this time, I would like to award the Perfect Attendance. Perfect attendance is pretty obvious. You have to be here every single day of the year. It's not an award that a lot of people in the world get. A lot of us are absent. I've never gotten one, but I'm very lucky I get to give them out. It's about as close as I'm going to get. These are the perfect attendants. Jeff Lander, Mike Nelms. And Brandy Taylor. The next two students I'm going to call off are Chris Donovan. He received an excellent attendance award. In the last 2 years, he has only been absent 2 times in 2 years. That's great. And James Osborne, he is getting an award for improved attendance. Come on up, James. At this time, I would also like to give out the service awards. These are for students that have done extra things during the year for specific things. The first person, he was in the band, the school band, and he was the sound technician, and he was also an excellent student aide, and that is Chris Crumpley. Crystal Brown, not here, and John Gutowski is working. The next students received awards for excellence in sports. These students are Charles Edwards, Haywood Jones, better known as Sean. Okay, Mike Nelms, I know he's here. Tony Galt, Corvin McMillan, Aaron Schumann, such luck. At this time, Al Frost will come up and will introduce the AllNet Awards.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term AllNet, it stands for Alternative Network. Port Huron South belongs to a St. Clair Macomb network of alternate ed programs. We play sports with them. We have an exposition where we do displays, some of the things that you'll be able to take a look at after the program if you haven't seen them. We have leadership conference and sports events and a number of things. The people that we're going to introduce to you now are people who have made exceptional strides in that AllNet, in that they have to have been on levels 3, 4, and 5, which are our highest 3 levels, in order to participate. First of all, the Leadership Conference winners, or those who represented us, I should say, in the Leadership Conference. Mr. Glenn Smith, sitting back there in the corner, is the man who organized and took them to the conference this year. And the 2 people that he took with him were Rose Betancourt and Jennifer Williams. Are either of those girls here? There's Rose, okay. And nobody could be more deserving of being on the Leadership Conference than Rose. She's a neat young lady. We had our students were representing us in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. They came home with a 500 record, but taking into consideration that most alternative ed programs start at age 16 and go up, and we started middle school. 2 of the 5 members of our team were middle school people. One of those is Mike Nelms, that you've seen up here before. Mike? The other members were Jason Hawks, Jonathan Testo, Peter Lucido, and Jeff Potts. I don't think any of those fellows. Oh, Jeff's here. I'm sorry, Jeff. And the 2 folks that are here tonight are the middle school people who played against the upper high school people. They did a real nice job. At the Expo, which is the exposition, we took projects this year to the Macomb Mall one week, and we took them to Macomb ISD another week. As you can see, if you haven't already, The projects were ribboned, and I want you to take a look at them afterwards. Some very nice and really neat things. Language arts winners, there were several categories. The language arts category, Carla Diaz and Candy Trevino were winners in that. They created a school newspaper in Mrs. Hunwick's class, and that's displayed over there. In the fine arts, Paul Whitmore's drawing was ribboned. Is Paul here tonight? In social studies, they were middle school students from Mrs. Hunwick's class again, Shanda Kalish, Andrew McGillis, and Kellyanne Paul. And those were social studies winners. In the technological vocational category, Chris Crumpley, that you've met. Chris? Other winners in the technical vocational were John Dawson and Les Plummer. I don't think either of those fellows are here tonight, but their projects are over there. Now I'd like to introduce Tim Mino. This is one of the projects that was also represented at Expo, but we're especially proud of Tim and his Black River project. And Tim, would you come up and please say a few words about the project and let folks know exactly what it is?
Thank you, Al. I really appreciate this opportunity. As Jim Bedreva told you earlier, in terms of school improvement, the focus is on the team. And one of the core subjects here at Port Huron South is science. And we had a group of young people this spring and many springs and falls before who took a risk and said, I'm going to try out for that team. And I'm going to do science. I'm going to do what a scientist does. I'm going to have that experience. Because this is what our young people who do the water testing on the Black River and on the St. Clair River do. There's no artificiality here. They have to train and work hard to do the testing to the standards that would be accepted by the community, the wastewater department, and all their colleagues and our whole area. So I'm particularly pleased tonight to recognize the 11 people who are listed in your program, at least 2 of which I know are here this evening. But I would like to name all of them because collectively they represent this effort. And no 2 or 3 or 4 could have done it. But working together, they did a really quality job. And that quality job is evidenced by their report over here on Water Quality Project Spring 1998. And it also was recognized by AllNet for that effort and that quality. The young people involved are Lindsay Cassidy, Steve Langoff, Stacy Nell, Billy Taylor, Jim Gauthier, Crystal Lurg, Jeremy Pierce, and Jeremy, I know you're here, Jennifer Welch, John Gutowski, Andrea Marin, and I know Andrea's here, and Keith Reinhardt. Would Jeremy and Andrea please come up and receive their recognitions on behalf of the entire team? This award says service because these 2 young people truly exemplify service to the community and that their water testing has a lot to say about the quality of life that we have here in the Blue Water area. And their interest and concern in this is much appreciated, certainly by us, but by the entire community. Thank you for representing the group tonight.
As one of the new staff members here at South this fall, one of my jobs was to monitor the high school proficiency test. Coming from the elementary level, I wasn't real sure what all that was about, but there was one young man who certainly did know what it was about. Chris would come into my office. Mrs. Kaiser, do you have any results yet? Chris, I don't even know what they look like. Be patient, I'll look for them. Next month, Mrs. Kaiser, any results yet? Chris, I haven't seen them yet. Well, Chris, tonight, congratulations to you for scoring proficient in science and math on your high school proficiency test. This is a real honor because there are very few students from any of our 3 high schools who have done this. So Chris, you can be real proud of yourself.
This has been an exciting fall for our middle school program. We've had lots going on, and one of the things that the students chose to do this fall was be part of the Detroit News Spelling Bee. I got some information on it. I put it out to the kids. Do you want to do it or not? Yes, they wanted to do it. Yes, they wanted to do the quiz bowl. Yes, they wanted to do everything we threw out this year. In the spelling bee, we had a building spelling bee here, and then we took our winner from our building to Sebewaing, Michigan, which we all had to find together on the map, and drove up there for a day. And Port Huron South was very well represented, and they did a nice job. We didn't win the districts, but we did a good job on it. And I'd like to I know I have one of them. Second runner-up was Alex Clody, who has moved to Georgia. First runner-up was Sean Jones, who isn't here tonight. And our building winner, who received a trophy and also an engraved dictionary, which he's taken home. I made him leave the trophy here, is Robert Lucas. So Robert, come on up.
For those of you that don't know me, I teach the GREAT program, which is a gang resistance education and training throughout the Port Huron middle schools. And Mr. Bedreva touched on a little bit. Kind of the informal theme of my program is, where do you play in the community? What is your role in the community? I had an opportunity several weeks ago to interview a former student from Port Huron South for a summer job. And one of the interviewers in our panel asked this question: what do you consider a student at risk? How do you define a student at risk? And his answer was very profound. He said a student at risk is a student with no goals. He was hired that day because of that statement. And just keeping that in mind, I kind of offered the same type of thanks to the winner of the middle school essay program, which is Robert Lucas, who's going to come forward and share his essay with us tonight. Robert?
I can make the world great by keeping my neighborhood clean, keeping violence away. Then people would see me and think I'd be a role model. Then everyone should try to stop the violence and all the mischief that is caused in the world. Just me or other people can't stop the problem. It takes more than one to start a problem, and it takes more than one to stop one. We all must do our part. I'll try to keep the world great. Nobody wants others to ruin it. It's everyone's job. Everyone can win.
Thank you.
We have been truly blessed this year with help from the community on several of our projects and our Friday activities by the Michigan Council
are the Michigan Waterways Council of Girl Scouts and the Blue Water Council of Boy Scouts. They have come into our building and provided us with materials and expertise, financially supported our programs, and we would like to recognize the two people in the community who've kind of made it possible for us. The first one is Connie Moore, and she's not with us tonight, but I'd like to ask Mrs. Schwartz to come forward and accept her certificate, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have seen you come in. I apologize. And the other is from the Blue Water Council of Boy Scouts, and that would be Tom Broyles. And I don't think I saw Tom come in. The 1997-98 Community Service Award recognizes Kim Green for her outstanding work with the staff and students at Port Huron South. Kim works for Michigan Waterways Council of the Girl Scouts. During the school year, Kim has given generously of her time and expertise and even her own equipment to help the students here at South. Kim arranged for South students to go on various community trips such as bowling, ice skating, swimming, and camping. Her expertise and skills she shared, such as leathercraft, knot tying, outdoor cooking, enhanced and broadened our outdoor education program. Many of our students, myself included, could not believe that you could cook breakfast in a paper bag over an open flame. But Kim showed us how. She shared with us how to make banana boats. If you haven't heard of those, you make them over an open campfire. They are delicious, and they certainly made Wednesday night at our campsite on the canoe trip very special. Kim is always ready to help supervise events and transport students. Her background in Girl Scouting enhanced the experiential component of our program. As a role model for students and as a valued resource for the South staff, Kim embodies the ideal of South's commitment to students. So it's with great pleasure that we here at South present Kim Green with this year's Community Service Award. Kim Green, folks. This is what happens when the South staff does not rehearse.
As the director of Port Huron South, I wish to take just a few minutes to thank the wonderful staff that I've been working with for all of these years. This program tonight could not have happened without the staff dedication. We had staff in here decorating today. We had staff come back, stay after school to make this happen. We've had an exciting year at South with the New York trip, winning the stock market contest, Cedar Point, canoe trip, camping trip, the United Way by their support with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And it wouldn't have happened if the staff didn't make it happen. I certainly couldn't call downtown every time we needed some coverage and get a substitute because that just wouldn't happen. It doesn't happen anyplace. But we as a staff have one particular person that we'd like to thank because of the generosity of this person. Margaret Prout, would you please come up here? Margaret has subbed at Port Huron South and its preceding names for 20 years. She is our building sub, and a day doesn't go by, a busy morning, especially in the office, when I don't hear staff members saying, Joanne, where's Margaret today? Is anyone out sick? Where's Margaret today? Because they're working on putting all of these opportunities together for students. And Margaret, God love her, we just do, is so eager to go in any room at any time for any situation. And as a staff, we'd like to take this moment to show our appreciation to her. We're afraid that maybe her husband will convince her to retire, and we don't want that to happen. But we do have a plaque for her that says, presented to Margaret Prout, a truly caring professional who has proven herself on a daily basis to the indispensable to both the staff and the students of Port Huron South. And I guess I should change my glasses if I'm going to read up here. But anyway, from the total staff, Margaret, we wish to show you our appreciation.
Thank you.
At this point, to our graduates, choices, choices, choices. If you haven't heard that word very much, you haven't been at Port Huron South. But we talk choices all the time. 11 young people are with us tonight who have made very difficult choices. And a choice that they have made is to graduate. And we know that the choice that they have made is very difficult. And sometimes the experiences and the decisions that they've had to make have been beyond their years. They are typical high school graduating age, and yet some of them have really had to make graduation and high school completion a real goal of theirs in order to accomplish. Let's take a look at our seniors for a minute. We have 4 with us who have been with us for 4 years. We have 5 students with us who have been with us for 3 years. We have 2 students that have been with us for 2 years. So we, our small school, we, the staff, feel that we have gotten to know these youngsters, or young adults now, quite well. One of the group is married with a family. Many of our students are parents. Most live independent from their parents and are self-supporting with 1 job or 2, and they still come to school. We have seen you walk to school in the blowing snow or the torrential rain. In fact, you were here last week when it was unbearable upstairs in terms of the heat, and those of us that could avoid it did, but you were here and you were upstairs. You've come to school after being up all night with a sick child, or maybe working on the line someplace all night for 8 hours. Many of you wanted to pass the marking period because you couldn't afford the absence, so regardless of not having any sleep, you did come to school. And in those cases where the 3rd absence was necessary, they responsibly made the choice to stay after school on Friday afternoon in order to make the requirements to pass their classes. In the times that we have spent together, we've watched you develop as individuals, and we've watched you mesh as a supporting group for each other. We are witnesses and can attest that you have internalized Port Huron South's 3 R's. You are reasonable, you are respectful, and you are responsible. We encourage you now to continue to think through your future decisions and to continue to make good choices. When you make a choice, as you've made choices, the big choice to stay in school to graduate, if you come to life's question mark and you're not sure how you should decide, try to give your attention to the decision to be made the same way you gave your attention to graduate. If you do that, your choices will continue to be made in a mature, worthwhile way. We at South, the complete staff of South, are really proud of you, and we hope to encourage you to continue making good choices. Life is but a continuation of decision making and making choices. And as long as you focus with your internalized value system and continue to make good choices, life will be sweet to you. The staff and I are proud of you. Good luck. We feel like they're family. Many of them have been here as long as I've been here. So I kind of came on one day and they're here, and I feel like part of my family's leaving when this particular group of seniors leaves. At this point, I guess we will present our seniors with a certificate as well as a little memento that we have put together for them. The actual graduation will occur Monday night at the Adult Learning Center at Jefferson. I'm hoping that all of you are there. It's a wonderful graduation. Chris Brown. Chris Crumpley. Chris Donovan. Danielle Kuhn. Jamie Raptoy. Jason Rosales. Denny Sanchez. Natoya Sanderson. Brandy Shively. Shannon Thomas.
Thank you, Mrs. Monahan. Are there any seniors who'd like to say anything before you march up? Here's your chance. Okay. Would you please remain seated as the seniors go through the graduation recessional?